Good afternoon. This is Stacy with Senior Career Counseling. Hope your day is going well. Another great day in resume world. I'm just getting on today to talk a little bit about tailoring your resume to a specific job. A lot of people think they can go by with just one resume. Let me tell you, when I was looking for a job, I've had up to 4 or 5 resumes. Now you have to be able to keep it straight. So I would just title them, electronic resume or administrative resume. And then when I applied for jobs, because I kind of told you all at one point, I kept a detailed list of who I spoke with. Looking for a job is the job when you are unemployed, and you should treat it as such. What I mean about those things is keeping a list, knowing what you should, who you spoke with or what stage you are in the process, knowing who you sent the resume to, what job it was, what company it was, and maybe a little brief description of the company. That may sound like a lot, but trust me, it has gotten me so many positions simply because I was prepared. As a recruiter, as you all know I'm still actively recruiting and working. And I tell you, nothing's more annoying when I call someone and I tell them, or, even when usually I try to set appointments ahead of time. So, I'm calling. And then for those times that I don't set up an appointment, I just reach out to them, ask them if this is a good time to talk, tell them who I am and what I was calling about. And they tell me, hold on, I'm not really sure which company this is. I applied for so many. All right, if you're in a job search, we know that you've been looking for a lot of companies and maybe applying for a lot of them. Don't tell us that, hey, I don't know who you are and I can't remember what company this was or what position I applied for. Don't do that. Be prepared. If you're out of the house and away from your notes, just say, hey, this is not a good time. Can I give you a call back in, say, 30 minutes, an hour, or can we set a time for later this week? Do that. It sounds more professional than saying, could you tell me a little bit about this job and which company it is? Because I'm not really sure what position, or I applied for so many, I don't know which one this is. That's the case normally. If you've applied for a bunch of jobs, you may get them mixed up. But go back home and take a look at your files and make sure you understand a little bit about who is calling and the job that you applied for, all right? Just a little tip so you sound a little more educated and serious about the position that you're looking for, okay? Nobody wants to listen to you talk about some other positions that you've, applied for. We all know what's happening as recruiters and hiring managers. We know. I'll tell you a funny story at the end of this video, if I remember, but about something that happened there. So like I said, today I want to talk a little bit about tailoring your resume to the job that you're applying for. So like I said, I had several resumes when I was applying for positions and looking for jobs. The reason I had several resumes is one, because I have varied skills. All right. And right now, everything is tailored to administrative. It's more of an administrative resume, and everything is geared towards human resources and recruiting, because that's my passion, of course. So I don't have to worry about it much. So I'll tell you, when I first got out the military, some of you all may have heard me talk about how I worked on aircraft. Whole different world from what I do now. So at first I was kind of operating in 2 different worlds. I had an administrative background, but I also had a technical background of working on electrical and electronic weapon systems on aircraft. Again, whole different world, 2 different worlds there. So in that case, I certainly had like 4 resumes, 2 for administrative, highlighting skills for certain administrative jobs I was looking for, and then 2 electrical and electronic positions, 1 for electrical and 1 for electronics. I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up, so I was kind of throwing things out there, right? Certainly as time went on, I learned how to be much clearer in my job search. But let's go with the premise that you're clear in your job search, you know what you're looking for, but you're applying to several different companies. And the positions may be a little different. So I'll use this example. If you're a forklift driver and you have majority of your work has been inside, maybe in a warehouse, so you applied to those positions, you're thinking, I could just use this resume. Perfect. All of the experience that I have is what's on the job description, what they're looking for makes sense, okay? So in that case, you just use the resume that you've been using all along because it's not much of a difference there. But you see another position that says, hey, heavy equipment forklift operator on docks. It talks about you'll be loading off of a ship, containers off of a ship, and then other things, smaller equipment and things off of the ship. So, those big containers come with, those whatever hoists, I believe, that move those industrial hoists. But you're going to need a forklift for some of the smaller equipment. Now, working on a dock requires that you work outside in all weather conditions, right? There's going to be different slick surfaces that your forklift is going to go over. You're going to need different forks in some cases, and just be aware of the ground that you're working on, because again, the weather can be different, and maybe you need to slow down, go a little faster. Be careful about going down declines. Know when you need to back up as opposed to going forward with a load. Sounds like I've used the forklift a couple of times. Actually, I haven't. We used what we call jammers. Whole different stories. Kind of like a forklift. But at any rate, you just want to be the person they're looking for. They want to be able to work in all weather conditions and have that experience. Okay, so they're looking for, let's say, 1 to 2 years of working outside with the forklift, right? And being able to inspect them, all of that information. But the resume, let's say resume A, showed all of your warehouse experience. You didn't really highlight that 4 years prior, you worked outside in all weather conditions. So this kind of, down is like the fourth one on your list. When you send that resume, the recruiter, as I mentioned in past videos, has like less than a minute to kind of scan through. So if you don't know, we are not looking at every word. We're not scanning through all of them. Unless it's a smaller company, you have time and you only have one job open. In past positions I was like, let me take a look at everything, maybe read it line by line. But if you're applying to larger companies, don't fool yourself that they are recruiters like myself are reading every line. We just don't have that type of bandwidth. So we're looking for keywords and pick it out. I'm not even going to talk about these systems that they have. People talk about, there's a system and it requires keywords and things like that. There is, but I'll talk about that some other time. Someone's really still going to lay eyes on your resume. It is not coming out of a computer going right to a hiring manager. All right, so someone's going to lay eyes on it. You want to make sure that person finds those keywords. So you apply for this position out on the docks. You use resume A. I'm scanning through. I don't see it. All right, it's down there on job number 4, or possibly on the second page. I kind of scan it. I don't see any of the words in my job description for the job I'm hiring for in your resume. All right, I'll just keep moving. I need to see here's one right here that talks about it right from the summary. Now, if you're going to use a summary, make sure some of those keywords from the job description is in that summary. Or, of the objective of what you're looking for, seeking a position, a forklift position in outside weather conditions. I'm just throwing it out there right now, however you word it. But let them see from the beginning, this person is looking for those. Put it in your skills if you're using skills there. If you're putting down that you have forklift operation, cherry pick or whatever, put those down in your skills so they see that right away. You want to catch them from the moment and then go, oh, okay, that'll make us read further. But if you're on a second page talking about you worked in outside weather conditions, but you're applying for a position that talks about it in the beginning, that's the whole point of the position. You don't want to wait and hope that somebody sees it on your second page, right? Probably not going to happen. Or they'll think, I know myself, I think, well, he doesn't have very much. And don't do this. Don't try to ignore all of your recent skills and move that one up to the top. Because now I'm looking at the dates and I'm like, he hasn't worked since 2001. Oh, you had, but you decided to move that one up front to be more pronounced. Don't do that. Do not do that. It looks crazy. All right. I'm not even going to look for another word. It just simply looks crazy. Now your dates are all out of, don't do that. All right. There's a way to do it. Put it in your skills and qualifications at the top. Put it in your objective or put it in your summary. All right. I hope you remember what's the difference between an objective and a summary. All right. That's not today's lesson. But tailor that resume. You're going to update your summary, all right? Talk about the outside weather conditions. If you're using a summary, outside weather conditions, you've operated these heavy equipment forklifts and update the skills section there. So if you have it tailored to warehouse work, you want to now tailor it to put working outside. Add a few of those things in, whatever is important to moving a forklift in all weather conditions. This is a good time to look at the job description and go, oh, okay, let me customize it to some of the things that's in the job description. Do not go to the job description and cut and paste. Another thing that doesn't look very professional. It just really doesn't, right? Go ahead and put it into your own words. It's not that difficult. Change the wording around something. Google it. See what a forklift, a dock working forklift operator must do. And then look and see if that's in a job description. Go, you know what? That looks about the same. Maybe I'll use that and throw in a few of my own words, okay? The last thing you want to do, especially if you're copying from, or I shouldn't say copy, if you're mimicking the job description and you want to make some keywords and things stand out, go ahead and have someone proofread, the job description and your resume. And then just ask them, if you were reading this and you were the hiring manager, would you hire me for this position? Do you see the skills in here that I need, that you were looking for? Do you see them? I mean, can you recognize that right away? Hopefully they'll tell you yes, or they'll tell you no, and you go ahead and fix it. Like I said, the best thing to do in certain positions is put down those skills, use a bullet, the bullets in there, put about maybe 6 or 8, depending on your resume, and put some things down there that you understand QuickBooks or you understand Microsoft Office and things. Of course, these are not things for a forklift operator. They may be, but you certainly want to put down whatever's in the job description that looks important. You can put it there, and that will carry the eyes of the recruiter down to continually read more. Because where did you get these skills? All right. It may not be in the first job, may not be in the second or the third, but I'm going to keep looking to see, where did he get these skills from? Why does she say she has these skills and I don't see it in these first couple of jobs? Let me take a look at that second page. All right. That will make someone continue to look. And that's what your key thing is. Let them look. And then while they're looking, they may notice other things too. Hey, it looks like and those are the preferred skills, and then there are required skills. Or it may say required skills and good to have skills. So usually those are in the preferred. If you have some preferred skills that are not, standing out and pronounced, they're not even in your skills bullets there. But they might be helpful in the job. They may pick up those things as well. I have passed candidates on to the hiring manager that maybe only had one of the 5 skills they needed, but they had a lot of the preferred skills. And sometimes the actual requirements can be trained. Some of the actual requirements are if they have this knowledge, or in the preferred skills, if they know this, and this, it wouldn't be hard to train them the rest. Depending on your company and how things are, positioned, if they're hard pressed and going to go with just the requirements, then you better have those requirements in there. Some companies are a little more lenient, and I've worked for both. So the best thing to do is make sure your requirements are highlighted to catch the person's eye. If they have 5 requirements, but you only have 3 of them, make sure that that recruiter catches the first 3. Okay, so I hope this was a help to you today as you were looking over your resume. Hey, everybody wants to be happy. And, as Americans, we spend more time at work than we do with our families, or just by yourself, or whatever, doing the things we want to do. We're the only country that does this. Some countries even take a break and have relaxation time. I know there are some companies in the U.S. have the little sleeping pods and things like that too, but the majority do not. So my best advice is find a position that you really enjoy or close to it. Create your skills, get the education, whatever you need to do to get yourself to a position that you don't mind going to. Then maybe you can work your way up to a position that you enjoy going to. I absolutely love what I do as a recruiter. I love helping people. I love being able to give people opportunities that will never have a chance to. I am the recruiter that sometimes will read a little bit more and ask a few more questions, even if my time is tight, because I want to make sure. I understand that people don't write resumes every day, but not a lot of recruiters are like me. So I hope some of my own skills, the things that I have gone through, the things that I teach, I have gone through, and I know the difficulties of it. Someone taught me how to write a resume, albeit when I was a teenager, but along those years, I have learned. I know what it's like to transition out of the military, and it's a whole nother world out there. You haven't been applying for jobs, and you need to learn that skill again. You've been a stay-at-home mom or dad, and you've just not been in the workforce. And the resume that you used in the past just doesn't work anymore. You dig it up and you just go, okay, I'll use this. What do you put for those years that you were out of work? I can help you through all of those things, all right? I have been there. I've not been out of the workforce, and for like several years or whatever, but I've worked with people who have. I've created resumes for people who have been out of the workforce. So let me help you. If I can be of any help to you, go ahead and message me, put something down in the comments, and we'll spend some time together talking about them. I do offer discovery calls to help you find the career that you want to be in. But first of all, you've got to have that resume together. So I do offer those to sit down and talk with you about your resume. So if I can help you, please do that. Please go ahead and put a comment down in the bottom, and then you can always go ahead and put your contact information, and it's somewhere over there in one of those things that says contact me or stay in touch, okay? So again, this is Stacy with Singer Career Counseling. I hope you have a fabulous evening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.